أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. Today's talk is a very important talk on the topic of shirk in the hukam of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shirk in the commandments, the directions, instructions, injunctions given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or allotting someone a share in his rule, in his law, in his commandments, or in his injunctions. Today I'm going to seek references from the Kitab al-Aziz and try to learn from the Kitab Allah. And I'll commence today's talk with the recitation of the verse number 26 of the Surah Al-Kahf, and then I will be moving to Surah Al-Ma'idah and will be reciting part of the verses, verse number 43 to 45, and I am aiming to conclude today's talk with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the recitation of the verse number 40 of the Surah Yusuf. In the verse number 26, in this verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the Surah Al-Kahf. This is the verse of Surah Al-Kahf. In this verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the Ashabul Kahf, the people of the cave. And towards the end of the verse, a very strong, meaningful and clear message has been given to the humanity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Qulillahi a'lamu bima labisu lahu ghaibus samawati wal ars absir bihi wa asmi' ma lahum min dunihi min waliyyin wala yushriku fi hukmihi ahada. Say, God knows best how long they remain there. His alone is the knowledge of the hidden reality of the heavens and the earth. How well does he see and hear? No guardian have they apart from him, since he allots to no one a share in his rule. Let us concentrate and pay heed to the messages of the Kitab-e-Aziz. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to make an announcement. Qulillahi a'lamu bima labisu lahu. Say out, O Prophet, that Allah knows that how long they stayed there, meaning in the cave. Lahu ghaibus samawati wal ard. Since he has got the knowledge which is beyond the reach of human perception, he has the knowledge of unseen of all of the heavens and the earth. Absir bihi wa asmi'. How well does he see and hear? Ma lahum min dunihi min wali. They do not have any protector or any guardian, any wali besides him. And towards the end of this verse, a very important message has been given to the humanity. Wala yushriku fi hukmihi ahada. Since he allots to no one a share in his rule. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not allow anyone to have a partnership, to have a share, to have an association in his rule, in his law, in his given commandments, instructions, injunctions, any order which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given in Kitab-e-Aziz. He does not want anyone to have a share in it, and he is very particular about it, and all the commandments belongs to him alone. Now I'm going to move to Surah Al-Ma'idah, and I'm going to recite verse number 43. Surah Al-Ma'idah is the fifth surah of the Kitab-e-Aziz. Here a talk is made about the Jews living in the Medina, and but we can the message is universal, and we can derive messages from the Kitab Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wa kaifa yuhaqqimunaka wa indahumut tawratu fiha hukmullahi summa yatawallawna min ba'di zalika وَمَا أُولَٰئِكَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ. But how it is they ask you for judgment, seeing that they have the Torah containing God's injunctions, and thereafter turn away from your judgment, such as these, then are no true believers. Let us concentrate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking. وَكَيْفَ يُحَكِّمُونَكَ. And how they can ask you, how can these Jews or Bani Israel, they can ask you to judge. وَإِنْدَهُمُ التَّوْرَاتِ. But they have, when they have got the Torah with them, فِيهَا حُكْمُ اللَّهِ, which contains the hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the revealed knowledge. Torah is the hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similarly, now Quran Hakim is the hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the injunctions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, directions, narrative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the dictation which is being given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the humanity. Summa yatawallawna min ba'di zalika. And then after getting this hukam, this commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this law which has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them in Torah, what did they do? They turned away from it. وَمَا أُولَٰئِكَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying they are not the true believers. Towards the end of the verse number 44, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given again a very strong message. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. For they who do not judge in accordance with what God has bestowed from on high are indeed deniers of the truth. Let us concentrate on the message of the Kitab-e-Aziz. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ. And whosoever who does not give directions, who does not give judgment, who does not follow the directions of the Kitab-e-Aziz, the commandments of the Kitab-e-Aziz, the narrative of the Kitab-e-Aziz, the injunctions of the Kitab-e-Aziz, the advice, the admonition which has been given in the Kitabullah, whosoever does not follow the hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. And indeed, these are the people who are actually the deniers of the truth. And towards the end of the verse 45, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reiterates and says again, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. And they who do not judge in accordance with what God has revealed, they are the evildoers. Let us pay heed to the messages of the Kitab-e-Aziz. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing again, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ. And whosoever does not give orders, does not act, does not follow bima anzalallahu, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us, which is Quran Hakim, Furqan Hamid. And whosoever who does not follow the directions, the commandments, the narrative, the injunctions and the dictation of the Kitab-e-Aziz, the advice given in the Kitab-e-Aziz, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. And indeed, these are the people who are the evildoers. These are the people who are the wrongdoers. Now I'm moving to verse number 40 of the Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf is the 12th surah of the Kitab-e-Aziz. And in this verse, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam is addressing to the people who have been imprisoned with him, his companions in the prison, and here he is giving them dawah. ما تعبدون من دونه إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما أنزل الله بها من سلطان إن الحكم إلا لله أمر الله تعبدوا إلا إياه ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. Meaning, all that you worship instead of God is nothing but empty names which you have invented, you and your forefathers, and for which God has bestowed no warrant from on high. Judgment as to what is right and what is wrong rests with God alone, and He has ordained that you should worship naught but Him. This is the one ever true faith, but most people know it not. Let us concentrate again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has spoken here about the talk, about the address which Prophet Yusuf salam made to his companions in the prison, and the talk is very beautiful and meaningful. Ma ta'buduna min dunihi. Prophet Yusuf is addressing Yusuf salam is addressing to the people in the prison, his companion in the prison, that do not worship anyone, do not become a slave, do not follow the commandments of anyone except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except Him. And the worship and the people which and the deities which you are worshipping, you are becoming slave of, illa asma'an sammaytumuha. They are just mere name which you have invented, which you have fabricated, which you have just invented by your own delusion, misjudgment, miscomprehension, and they have no true meaning in them. Antum wa aba'ukum, and these names have been invented by yourself and your fathers and forefathers. Ma anzalallahu biha min sultan, and for this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not given any permission, any authorization, any warrant, any license to do this. Inil hukmu illa lillah. Indeed, all the hukam, all the commandments, all the law, all the injunctions is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only His order must be followed. Amara Allah ta'budu illa iyyahu. And I have been ordained that to become a slave of Him, become a servant of Him, worship Him alone, follow His commandments alone. Zalika dinul qayyimu, and this is the ever true faith, the right path. Walakinna aksara nasi la ya'lamun, but majority of the mankind does not know it, do not know it. With this, I am concluding today's talk with a very meaningful and important message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not allow anyone to have shirk with the Kitab-e-Aziz, with the orders of the Kitab-e-Aziz. He does not allow a share in His commandments, in His rules, in His directions, in His narratives, in His injunctions, which whatsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded in this book, has given in this book, has to be followed as is it is. And if there are some practices, any practice which is different from what had been advised in the Kitab-e-Aziz, which have been ordained in the Kitab-e-Aziz, Kitabullah, Furqan-e-Hamid, Kitab-e-Aziz, then it is equivalent to shirk in the hukam of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is equivalent to allotting a share in His rule. I seek Allah's forgiveness if there's any shortcoming in the delivery of the message. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين جزاكم الله خير.